Hey, Commissioner Doug Underhill here. Wanted to talk about the residency thing because for some reason, the psychopaths are just losing their minds after redistricting me out of my own district as a repercussion for me outing them for their whole, the $50,000 a year that they're giving themselves illegally. We then sold the property because a friend of ours, needed to buy it right away, had a 1031 exchange he had to do, and we knew we wanted to move up to the farm once I'm done with service. So the crazies are out there saying, oh, he's vacated his position and he's no longer eligible to be the District 2 Commissioner. Completely psychotic behavior. I don't understand them. So I want to run through these things. So here's the guidelines for determining when residency is met. And then that one's for qualifications for elected officials. And then here's the other one for legal residency. And here's the important thing about the word residency. It's a legal term, right? And it actually has some very significant meaning. Is a legal residency is not defined in law. However, over the years, the courts in the Florida Department of State Division of Elections have construed legal residency to be where a person mentally intends to make his or her permanent residence for purpose of registration. Okay, so listen, where a person mentally intends to make his or her permanent residence. Okay, so I'm telling you right now, I intend to maintain as my personal residence the house on Perdido Key that I've lived at with my family for 10 years. Additional evidence of such intent can come from items or activities such as obtaining a Florida driver's license. My Florida driver's license still shows this address and listed the residential address. Paying tax receipt, paying bills for residency. So of course, all those kind of, the light, power's still on, folks. My boat's still sitting out there on the ramp, and anybody who knows boaters, I'm not going anywhere without my boat. And all the jet skis and the cars and the RV and all that stuff is still registered here. So a bit of insanity on the part of the guys who really want to shut me up. Still not going to happen, folks. And by the way, I'm not going to shut up after I'm out of office either. We're going to talk about this corruption stuff, till the day I die. So the interesting thing, though, when it talks about continuous residency, now keep in mind, again, this is a document you could easily go up to the floor, go to David Stafford's office. He'll give you a copy of it. In general, the residency is required for an elected office, must be met at the time of assuming office. Okay, so at the time that you come into office, you've got to be a resident. Okay, and then the continuous residency question. Any residency requirement for an office is continuous one. Okay. Failure to maintain the residency throughout the term results in vacancy of office. Okay. In the absence of a statute, constitutional provision, or municipal ordinance that establishes a residency requirement, failure to establish or maintain residency alone does not trigger a vacancy in office. It's written right there in the law. It does not trigger a vacancy in office. They'll do anything to keep us from talking about the commissioners putting 50 grand a year in their retirement accounts for a part-time job. They'll do anything for us not to talk about the one commissioner whose wife gets to the CEO position of a not-for-profit, gets paid 60 grand a year for that job, and then suddenly that non-for-profit starts receiving $100,000 of your money. They'll do just about anything to show, to pay attention to something, anything other than the fact that your roads suck. Your roads suck because we're not putting the money into the roads. We're not putting the money into public safety, infrastructure, flooding. We're simply not doing our jobs. And the one guy who's pointed out, guys, we really ought to do our job, is the one that they're attacking and constantly trying to run out of office. I promised you I'd do 2 years in this or 2 terms in this office. And I promised you I was not going to become a part of the corruption that you sent me here to fix. We're almost done. We've got about 100 days left. Didn't become a part of the corruption, and we're still fighting to just fighting for you. But citizens, you're going to have to step up now. You've got to step up and point this out. These guys, they go to church, they go to restaurants, they go to these Board of County Commissioners meetings, they have these events, and nobody's calling them out for it. Most citizens in Escambia County, most families in Escambia County don't make 50 grand a year in their salary. These boys are putting 50 grand a year in their pockets as a retirement check for a part-time job. That is a violation of state law. But it's only against the law if somebody stands up and says what's right. So look forward to the next meeting, guys.